told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Ashanti, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Ashanti. It's nice to meet you. For today, we're going to be talking about mental health, which is extremely important, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about as much as it should because people try to shy away from the topic mental health, but that is something that's very, very important. And as a person who always have people come up to me and say, oh, you know, you have such an alluring aura, and I feel like I could talk to you, I feel like I know you, I feel like I could, you know, talk to you about anything and you won't judge me and stuff like that. I feel really good to know that I could talk to you guys about something like this because, you know, I am educated on the subject, as well as, you know, I have a lot of I wouldn't say opinions, but I have a lot of advice that I could give. And, you know, having a trait like that, it's not always good. Sometimes it's bad, but for the most part it's good. And so I'm happy I'll be able to share that with you guys in efforts to help you, because that's what I'm all about, helping others. And when you could put that type of passion into something that really excites you or something that makes you feel good, I feel like that's a really great trait. So I'm really happy that I could be able to do that today with you guys, because I do it every day throughout my whole life with my family and my friends, but I never got to do it on a outside level, other than when people come up to me and just tell me their whole life story, and, you know, I give them advice and they come back and be like, oh my god, thank you so much, etc., etc. I think I have about 14 questions, if I'm not mistaken, or 13. I will say that some of the questions are a bit repetitive, but I will answer every single question, because I would try to be topic specific when answering the question as best as I can. I hope I'm able to get to everybody's question, and I hope I will answer you guys' question as effectively as possible. You know, if there's any other question that I answered and you feel like you need more information on that question, my inbox is always open. You can always email me. My email will be right here, you know, at ashantibalone56@gmail.com. You can always email me. I really want to shine that light on mental health, because I feel like a lot of people, they don't really get to express themselves in that certain way because of the society that they're in, and, you know, what are the norms of that society, and so they feel like they have to stay within that societal norm. But I will get more into that later, because there's a question that specifically on that, and so you will hear the answer further down in the video. So let's get into that. So I have here on my little phone, I have not written down the answer for these questions. You guys are getting my genuine feedback on these questions. Yes, I have seen the questions, but I have not written down anything about these questions. This is my genuine response to you live in this video on this question, based on what I know, based on what I have learned, and based on my own experience and my own wisdom. Okay, so I just want to get that out there. Advice is based off experience. It is based off you as a person, what you believe, and it is based off the wisdom that you have in that specific topic. So when someone gives you advice, what I want you guys to do is tweak that advice in a way that it works specifically for you. You're going to tweak the advice that someone give you into that way that it can match the situation that you're going through, so that your problem would be effectively solved. And I feel like a lot of people don't think about that and don't learn that and don't know that, so that's mostly why they might feel like advice don't work for me, you know, because some people are like that. Question number 1 is, how do I procrastinate less? Okay, so I know a lot of you guys might be struggling with school, and you know, school is very stressing, especially when you have a standard to uphold, especially if you're like a first generation student, high school student, college student. It's a lot to hold, it's a lot of burden. I think the most effective way to procrastinate less is get the work done right away. So for example, if they give you homework on Monday, right, and you get that homework Monday, right, and class ends at 2 o'clock on Monday, you get home at 2:30. If you have a specific time frame before you get home at 2:30, soon as you get that homework, you get a little break, do that homework, get it done right away, because your environment that you're going home to might not be as free as the one that you're at school for you to keep a focus so that you could get the homework done. Once you get the work, once you get a task, get it done right away. Don't if, don't but, don't maybe. Because if you don't get it done, you're gonna say, oh, the due date is next week, I could do it next week. No. Even if the due date is 2 days after, 3 days after, 1 week after, get it done that same day that you got it, and then tweak it and add more things to it throughout that week so that you could post it or send it in before the due date. That way you won't have the issue, because boom, I finished it already. I done tweaked it in the way that I feel it must be tweaked and uploaded it. What are tips you would give to someone who is about to start studying psychology? Okay, for me, psychology is a thing that I love. Like anything that has to do with knowing about the brain, knowing about behaviors, knowing about how the human brain and body works, like active skills, communication skills. I love that because that's the type of person that I am. I have a passion for psychology. So if you are someone who wants to start doing psychology, one thing I need you to know is that you're gonna need to be focused. You're gonna have to study because these are information that are retentive. But once you have a passion, I guarantee you these are not things that are going to be hard for you to remember because you have a passion for that. And so each class, the information is going to stick with you. So even if you go to the next class, then you're still going to have that information within your brain that happened last week. You have to be constant with your studying, with your practicing, constant with your terms. You have to know all your terms. You got to make sure the terms are correct, make sure you're using them in the right way, and just be passionate about it. If it's something that you love, incorporate it within your daily life. That way you're gonna get better at it. So whatever you learn, incorporate it within your family, your household, within yourself, within your peers, and that will help you to get better at that skill. And it's gonna be so refreshing to be a part of that subject and studying that subject. Yes. So third question is, what's the difference between bipolar disorder and bipolar personality disorder? That's a big one. That is a big one. And this topic is a very in-depth topic, but because I don't want the video to be too long and drawn out, if you need more information on this question, the person who sent me this, you could always inbox me or send me an email. I could send you something, or send you a message explaining to you more, or send you a book that you could, that I've read or that I have used in my past or within school that you could use to learn more about this type. Bipolar disorder is very specific to your mood, right? And it is specifically on how your mood affects your behavior and your function. You could see that within like mood swings or synapses and of depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And so with all of those different disorders comes the bipolar disorder. So the bipolar disorder again is majorly about your mood and your function. how your mood affects your function. Bipolar personality disorder is very impersonal and is very specific. Why I say it's very impersonal and specific is because, and not impersonal, interpersonal, and specific is because, like the name of the disorder, it says personality disorder. So people who suffer from bipolar personality disorder is specific to their personality. And to break that down, this has to do with issues with self-image, right? And issues within oneself. So this specifically has to do with you're struggling with your self identity, struggling with where you fit in with society. You might feel like, oh, you're not good enough. What do you contribute to society? With the bipolar disorder, it's basically just having heavy mood swings, and these heavy mood swings affect how you function. Like, you know, if you want to go out, if you want to eat, if you want to do this, if you want to do that. When the personality disorder specifically acts upon your self-image and how you see yourself and how you think others see you, and these affect your personal relationship with people and your relationship with yourself. It also leads to you having some high volume demeaning thoughts about yourself and about who you are, because this is something that you're struggling on. You don't necessarily have a control over that because you might feel like you're in a dark place, as well as some symptoms are having like outer body experience. Like you will feel like, oh, you're within yourself, but then for a moment, like maybe 30 minutes, you feel like you're outside of your own body, just looking in at yourself. Those are things significant to bipolar personality disorder. Like I said, the best way I could break it down to show you the difference is that the personality disorder specifically has to do with your self-image. It has to do with the inability to create or to portray your self-image within yourself. It also has to do with mood as well, because there are cases where there are high volume mood, you know, and stuff like that, but it's specific to yeah, guys. So I just wanted to add right there and then what I was saying. I was so nervous, but anyways, in that part, what I'm trying to say is that it is specific to instability of self-image. If there's anything that you also, guys, I just wanted to add as well that there's a lot to cover when it comes to personality disorder and bipolar disorder. So if you really want to know more about it, that way I could go more in depth with you, just reach out to me. Mood swings, and the other one has to do with mood swings, behavior, and it is specific to self-identity. That's the difference. So someone says, I feel really pressured at the moment now that CXC is right around the corner, and to be honest, I haven't been studying. I don't know how to. Okay, so for many of you that don't know, CXC is a Jamaican based, what is it, it's like an exam. It's like your final exam that you take before you leave high school to go to college. It's basically like SATs, and SATs is what determine, like, you know, what college you will go to. Studying is not an easy thing. So number one, what you would have to do is you got to find out what kind of learner are you, and then when you figure that out, you could incorporate it into your ways of studying. What I would say in terms of studying, first you got to find out, what do you know, what are you struggling with, and what are you in between with. The stuff that you know already, put that to the side, because you already know it. So you only need to review those stuff that you know. The things that you don't know are the things that you need to study and practice on, because you don't know them. And then the things that you're in between with, you also need to get help with that and let somebody like tutor you or give you the necessary help that you might need to do better within that part of the topic that you're doing. There's also like this chart that I got that has to do with studying, and I will insert it over here at the end so you could see it. But one of the main tips that you need to know in terms of studying, number one, you need to what is it, you need to create flashcards, right? Create some flashcards with the specific word at the front and then the answer at the back, and then you study those flashcards, and that's one way that will help you to retain anything that you're studying. You could also review, like run through all your notes that you get. Not everyone could do that, so I suggest that you do the flashcards because those are really effective. They definitely help you in terms of cognitive retention. If you want to remember anything, put them on flashcards. But I would leave the cycle at the side so that you could see, but this is a great cycle for you to follow. You need to review, revise, you need to practice as well. Don't just read and study. You need to practice, quiz yourself, test yourself. What do you know? What do you not know? Stuff like that. I do advise you to get flashcards. The next question is, I lack motivation to do any schoolwork, any school related work. Excuse me. Okay, to advise you in this term, what I would say is that you need to find something that makes you feel happy, something that puts you in a good mood, something that makes you feel good. And then once you find that, use that as a source of motivation for you to do your schoolwork. So say for example, you like music and you like Afrobeat music. Every day, take a 30-20 minute out of your day and listen to some Afro music and try to get the work done within that time that you're listening to the music, that you're in a good spirit, because you can't do work in a bad spirit. And so that's why you will lack the motivation, because you don't have a good spirit going on for you, and you know, you might feel a little bit down, and your emotions are going to impact all of your actions. So you have to consider that. So when you're lacking motivation, find something that inspires you, and whatever it is that inspires you and makes you feel happy, make you feel righteous, then you go ahead, commit to that action, and then commit to your work as well within that time, and trust me, you'll be good. What are some good ways to cope with stress? Okay, this is a good question too. So stress is interpersonal. Stress is something that has to do with you as a person, and the ways in which stress comes is that stress comes because of unresolved issues. So something that is unresolved, that you haven't gotten a solution to, you begin to stress about it because you don't know how to handle it, how to deal with it, or what solution you could have to that question or to whatever the issue is. And so it becomes a form of stress because it's tied to you for a long period of time. And so knowing that, what I would say is the best way to cope with stress is, number one, you could listen to music, right? Number two, you could find someone that you feel comfortable talking to that could help you to solve the problem. Number three, you could do hobbies, like if you like to read, if you like to sing, if you like to dance, you could put your passion into de-stressing. You could go to the gym, because going to the gym not only helps with your body, but it helps with your mind as well. It is mentally freeing. And so you want to try to find activities that are mentally freeing towards you, so that you could get that stress off your brain. And so once you get a mentally freeing activity and get it done, you'll feel that weight of that stress lifted off of your shoulder. I hope I answered this question really well. But yeah, those are some good ways you could cope with stress. Everyone's way of coping with stress is not going to always work for everybody. So if listening to music might work for me, it might not work for you, but there are others. So this is the advice that I give. I don't want to just give you something specific that you could do that has worked for me and it turns out it doesn't work for you. I want you to let you know that find something that you are passionate about, something that makes you happy, something that mentally frees you, and just get it done. Something that is good, not something that has a bad impact. Okay, something that is good, that has good benefits and good impact. Do that, especially a hobby. Do that, and that will help you to feel less stressed. And also talk to someone. If you feel like you're stressing about something, then you need to talk to someone about it, because talking can always help you it can always help you to feel a sense of relief. Someone says, I have so much to do and can't seem to get it done. This question is about procrastination, and again, I will give you the same advice that I give to the first person that asked about procrastination. You have to take a time out of your day to get the work done. So whatever time that you have, or whenever you get whatever it is that you have to do, take that time, give yourself a 45-30 minute, and set a timer, block out all distractions, put your phone on mute, put everything, block out the distractions. Make sure you keep contact with the people, you know, like if your parents or so gotta call you or whatever, you don't want to have your phone on mute in case of an emergency, but you want to block out any distraction that you have around you, and turn on some music that you love. You know, play something that you like to listen to. If you're a person that likes to listen to calming music and stuff, put on something that makes you feel good, makes you feel free, makes you feel in the mood, and get that work done. That is what I was saying. The same question, how can I overcome procrastination? Procrastination is not really something that is easy to overcome, because it has to do with your mentality most of the time, because we're mentally distressed or distraught. And so when that happens, we tend to procrastinate on things that we know we have to get done, but because of how we feel within ourselves, we don't have the energy or the motivation or the inspiration to go ahead and get up and get that done. So what I would say, in order to get over this, you have to find a way that motivates you. Find something that pushes you, that inspires you to do what you got to do, that makes you feel good. And when you do find that, trust me, you'll have no problem in getting what you need to get done, because that inspiration or motivation is going to always be there, and it's always going to be accessible. And once it's accessible, you'll have no problem to do what you need to do, because you always have that stream of good that's coming in that makes you feel really well, and so you could put out the effort that you need to put out for whatever reasons. So that is what I would say in terms of procrastination. I noticed there are a lot of procrastination questions, and so I'm gonna assume that all of the questions that I've gotten are from people who are in school. And I just want to say, I know school is stressing, I know it is hard, I know it is not the easiest, I know, you know, sometimes you feel like you don't want to do it, but trust me, it is worth it, and you will get over it, you will get through it. Okay, you will get through it, because eventually it's not only about the battle, but the reward that's gonna come afterwards. The reward is great. The reward is receiving, and getting that reward is what really matters. Your journey as well matter, because you could document, you know, your process and what happened and how you changed and how you improve. But trust me, the reward that's at the end of the finish line, it is worth it. If you guys ever feel like,
yes guys, so I also wanted to add that my inbox is open, so if you ever feel like you need to talk, you can reach out to me anytime.
I got a couple more questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 more questions. The video is a bit long. I didn't really want it to be this long, but I really wanted to answer you guys' question in depth. So I'm just gonna move as quickly as possible through these 5 questions that I have left. So the next question is, I overanalyze things and check out mentally of a relationship before physically. Okay, so this question now, this is also a hefty question. And what I don't think that you're over analyzing things. I think that this is not really necessarily a over analyzed situation. I feel like you are like this because of the experiences that you're going through, and as soon as you see small signs that the person is acting this in a similar way to something that you've experienced before, you mentally check yourself out so that you won't receive that hurt from that person that you've experienced previously when the same thing happened. And I feel like that's not always a bad thing. It is mostly good. I feel like whoever you're with should understand you in a certain way. And when you say mentally check out of the relationship before physically, I don't think that's a bad thing. But in terms, if you're worried about getting hurt while you mentally check out, I don't think it is ethical to still remain physically if you mentally check out, because you still could get very much hurt physically. You still could get hurt mentally even though you had mentally checked out, because of the physical attachment that you have to that person. And I just feel like, listen, you have to give people chances. If this is someone that you think that you really want to be around and this person has more good than bad in them, then you guys could work on the bad that they have and appreciate the good. So yeah, that's what I would say to this question. I really wanted to go a little bit more in depth with this question, because this is such a hefty question, and it really is a, you know, a question that I could really go deeper into. But because of the time of the video, I just have to try to get to the other questions, because I don't want this video to be an hour. Oh my god. And it's getting to that time frame. It's getting to an hour. It really is. So I'm trying my hardest not to let it get to an hour time frame. But yeah, that's what I would say. I don't think you're really over analyzing things, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that you just see everything, and once you see something that seems a little bit off to you, you analyze it, which is a good thing. But I feel like you need to give others chances, in terms of, don't mentally check out on people all the time. You have to give them, you know, a chance to redeem themselves, or a chance to show you who they are. And even if they might do something similar, people make mistakes, so it might not be something that they intended to do that you have experienced before. They might not even know that that's something that's wrong within your eyes. So you also have to teach them how you want to be treated, and what you like and what you don't like. So yeah, that's the advice that I would give to you. Someone says, how to stop pretending I'm fine when I'm really not. Okay, so this is also another big topic, and I just really want to say, you gotta stop doing that. You gotta share some of your weight. Let go of some of the burden and share it with somebody else. You cannot carry it yourself. And I feel like the same thing I was saying before with society. You have positive and negative sanction. Positive sanction is when society reward people for being within societal norm. And when you're outside of the societal norm, you're ridiculed, or you're not rewarded for that, because they expect you to be within a certain standard of the society, and because you're outside of that, it becomes a problem. And so I think this question stems from that, because a lot of time why people are like this is because they're afraid that they might seem inferior or weak to other people or to their society if they talk about how they're feeling, or talk about the fact that they're not okay. And so they feel like it is required for them to say, oh, you know, I'm fine, when they know they're not fine, because again, their society requires them to be fine all the time, even when they're not fine. And so when they're really not fine, they become scared to reach out and say that, you know, I'm not fine. And then sometimes it's also like, okay, I'm not fine and I want to tell somebody, but if I tell somebody, what can they do? You understand me? Not every time people could always help you in the way that you might want them to help you when they know you're not fine. And so what I would say to you is, you need to let people know. If somebody asks you if you are okay, if that's a person that you care about or cares about you, and that person you could really talk to that person, then you need to let them know that you're not okay. Because I guarantee you, if you have people in your circle that really cares about you, they're going to give a solution to your issue, and then you're gonna be okay. They're gonna either mentally be there for you, or they're gonna be there, boom, on point, boom, there's a solution for the issue, boom, take the solution, and you good. You need to let go of that weight.
Also, guys, what I wanted to add, I just wanted to say it is okay to not be okay. You're not going to always be okay in life. You're not going to always have it going well. But I'm telling you that you're not weak and you're not inferior if you ask for help. You're going to be one of the strongest person when you ask for help, because it takes a lot of strength and a lot of energy to get up and ask for help when you need it. So please, don't be afraid to ask for help. Please, you're not weak, you're not inferior, you are strong because you ask for help. And it is okay to not be okay.
You share that weight. You cannot bring all of it by yourself. Open up to someone who you feel is trustworthy to open up to. Someone who you know is really there to help you. Someone who you know is not going to judge you or judge your situation. You need to open up to them, and you need to let that person carry that weight with you if they're willing to. If that person is not willing and they have advice, take that advice. And then somebody else who want to give you advice as well, take that advice from them as well. And help yourself. Because taking advice from others is helping you, but you cannot bring that weight on your own.
Another thing that I wanted to add is that I know that sometimes we feel like we don't need people, and I could do it all by myself. No, you can't. You can't do it all by yourself. It's mentally demeaning, and it depletes you. It drains your energy. It drains everything within you when you do it by yourself. So it is okay to let others carry your burden with you. Someone who is willing and wants to bring that burden with you, it is okay. And I feel like you should have no issue to ask for that help, and once that person sees you as important in their life, automatically they're gonna want to bring that with you. So please,
I'm not really sure what kind of intrusive thoughts these are, but I feel like in terms of intrusive thoughts, you have to shine a positive light.
Okay, so what I mean when I say shine a positive light, I mean you should try to be more optimistic and less pessimistic, because when you're more optimistic about things, it helps you to be more positive, right? And it helps you to pick out the positive out of the negative. So when you're able to do that, it will be better for you, and it will help you to gain more control of those intrusive thoughts, because you will mostly be on the positive side. We're not going to always be able to be positive every time, because negative things happen, but when they do, try to get a positive lesson from that negativity.
Intrusive thoughts are negative thoughts, and if you try to be positive about things or experiences or anything that happened, then you will have less intrusive thoughts. So try to control your mind in a certain way that it doesn't jump off to a certain level where the thoughts might become intrusive, right? So you got to train your brain, you got to train your mind in that way, and you got to also talk about it. If you want to reflect, then reflecting is a very good thing that you could do that will help you in terms of intrusive thoughts and being more positive. Reflect upon the positive that comes from the negative, and definitely that I think that will help you. Someone says school is stressing. I know it is very stressing. It is, trust me, it's not the easiest, but I'm telling you, you'll get through it, because like I said, the reward that's at the end of the finish line is very much deserved, and you have put in all your hard work to get there, and trust me, you just have a few more to go and you will be finished. So I know it is stressing, and I know life is lifing right now for many of us, but stay positive, stay focused, stay grounded, and it will all be good. Definitely, it will all be good. The final question is, I can't meet the deadlines of my assignment and I procrastinate a lot under stress. So this ties into two questions that I already spoke about. Like I said, stress is an interpersonal thing, so you have to find what makes you less stressed, what makes you de-stress, and you need to de-stress yourself. After de-stressing, you need to put yourself in a good mood, and whatever puts you in a good mood, that is what you're gonna do to help you not procrastinate. Procrastination has a lot to do with your emotions and how you're feeling. So if you're feeling sad, you're not gonna want to do any work because you're sad. If you're feeling happy, you're going to want to do work because you're happy. So you want to move about, you want to get stuff done. And so you got to put yourself in a mindset that is a happy mindset and a mindset that is not stressful. And once you do that, you'll be able to stop procrastinating and you'll be able to be stress-free. So you lift the burdens of stress off your shoulders. These are things that are very effective and they do work. I'm not going to tell you something that I know that doesn't work. These are things that work, and based on what I already learned in psychology, I know that some of these steps are very effective. So because this is how our brain works. We have the id, the ego, and the superego. So I don't want to get too much into that, but that has to do with your subconscious and, you know, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, what you think, how that impacts your behavior, etc., etc. That is for another time. That is another topic, but it all ties in with stress and behavior and mentality and all of that stuff. So that is why I even brought it up in the first place. But what I want to say is, guys, just find something that you're passionate about that helps you to de-stress, even if it's a person like a family member, a mom, a dad, a cousin, a sister, a friend, someone or something. If it's going out with friends and having a couple drinks or having, you know, some food or something that helps you de-stress, you need to get that and get that done. That helps you de-stress, and then after you de-stress, take a few minutes or 45 to 30 minutes out of your time, put on something that keeps you in a good mood, and that will help you to stop procrastinating. You will feel less stressed because, you know, you're in a good mindset, and you'll find that you'll be able to get a lot done within that time frame. There's so much other things that I have wanted to say today in this video, but because of the time frame of the video, the video is already 46 minutes, which is very long already. But I just needed to answer all of you guys' question, and I hope that I answered your questions effectively as possible, and I hope that my answers were good. You know, I hope my answers most of all helps you. I hope that you guys put this into action. And another thing that I would say before I leave, in terms of these steps that you have to take, you have to be constant. That's number one. You gotta be constant and consistent with these, because if you're not constant or consistent, it won't work. You gotta do it on a regular basis. Always do it on a regular basis. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be constant. Trust me, you gotta be constant. Just because you've reached some place in where you want to reach doesn't mean that you don't have to put in the work to get further or to keep that level that you are at. You have to continue to put in that work. And so if you're not consistent or constant in these actions, then you're gonna go back to how you were in the beginning. So you gotta be consistent with these actions. Anything that I told you that you want to incorporate within your lifestyle and helping you to not procrastinate and helping you to not stress and helping you to feel better in your mental health, you gotta be consistent and constant. That is necessary. It is imperative. It is imperative for you to be consistent and constant. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, for requesting this video, for sending me you guys this question. I really appreciate that, because this is something that I really wanted to talk about for a very long time, and so I'm very elated that you guys sent those questions in so I could talk about them. Like I said, the video is getting very long, so I might not have been able to touch bases on or go in depth with some questions that I wanted to go a little bit more in depth into, but there's always another time for these same questions. There's always another time for different questions that stem from these same questions, and there's always time for more videos. So I just want to thank you guys again so much for watching, so much for subscribing, so much for viewing the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, which is most important. I want you guys to get my channel to 1,000 subscribers, because when we get to that milestone, I will be doing a giveaway. So every milestone that we get to, I'll be doing a giveaway, and who knows, you might be one of the lucky winners of that giveaway item. So please guys, make sure you do that. It is very imperative to also do that. And I would love to see you guys again in another video, and love to talk to you guys again about something else that you want to talk about, or more mental health tips, more mental health ideas, anything else about mental health, or any other category that you want to talk about. So leave your comments down below in the comment section. Yeah, leave your comment, leave video ideas, leave what you think, and you know, peace out. Thank you so much guys. I see you in the next video. Bye, and thank you.